Hello and welcome to another episode of Kayaani Wellness TV. This is Dr. Andreas Betcher, member of the Scientific Advisory Board here at Kayaani. And in this very important episode, I'm going to be breaking down how you can power up your immune system and how you're not completely defenseless during this time of the COVID-19 crisis that is currently surrounding us all. Stay tuned. Now, first and foremost, I want to make sure that hopefully you and your family and all those that you love and care for are doing incredibly well during this time. From all of us here at Kayaani, our hearts go out to everyone, and we want to encourage you and let you know that this too shall pass. And you definitely want to be practicing vigilance, and we're talking about the social distancing and disinfecting surfaces and washing hands and so forth. But I also want to make sure we include an important message that I'm seeing not being portrayed in the media today, and that is the power of your immune system. And yes, we can practice vigilance, but it's ultimately going to come down to the health of our immune system. And I'm not going to get into the politics or the debate of who's vulnerable and who's not. But at the time of this video, we are seeing more and more cases of those that are immunocompromised, those that are elderly, or those that have comorbidity factors like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and those, of course, in lifestyle factors as well that are becoming more prone, even in the younger population. We love you all the same, and we want nothing but the best for you and your family, for your health, for not only now, but also for long term and in the future. So, what are the biggest causes for lowered immunity? And you've heard me talk about this in previous videos. Excess body fat, sugar intake are very inflammatory conditions that put strain on the immune system. In fact, a tablespoon of sugar, even just 4 or 5 grams of sugar, can lower your immune system for an upwards of 2 to 3 hours. And that window of time could be just enough time to allow any virus or pathogen to take hold. Because what the sugar does is it destroys and wreaks havoc on the gut health, the microbe health, the microbiome of the intestinal tract itself, and thus allowing pathogens to come in. It can cause leaky gut syndrome, creates an inflammatory response, and can allow bacteria and pathogens to enter into the system. I cannot tell you enough how toxic alcohol is. It has a tremendous strain on the liver and its processing and ability. It wreaks havoc on your white blood cell count, which is very important for your immune system response, and it also makes you more prone to having respiratory infections, of which the coronavirus is. So I strongly recommend, I know there's lots of jokes out there on corona and alcohol and might as well have the wine and have a good time, but honestly, with everything I know, I strongly recommend during this time, if you truly are concerned about being infected with the coronavirus, that you absolutely cut out your alcohol intake at this time completely. Okay, for those very reasons. Smoking and vaping, this is a big one. Remember, coronavirus in particular is a respiratory infection. The last thing we want to do is inhale any kind of chemicals into our lungs or into our airways where the primary defense mechanism is. Remember, when you light a cigarette, it elicits over 7,000 chemicals, 60 of which are known carcinogen and toxins. Not to mention the side effects of vaping are completely unknown at this time. And actually, this is the biggest factor that we're seeing that is exposing the younger generation to more incidences of infection with the coronavirus. Now, I'm going to make a personal opinion here. You can decide for yourself. I love Europe. I'm actually I was born in Germany. And the thing that I've seen in Europe is the incredible amount of people that smoke, and particularly those are youth, whether that's traditional tobacco and or vaping. And as a result, to me, it's not a surprise to see younger generation being more prone to developing an infection from the coronavirus because of the amount of smoking and vaping that is being done and socially accepted in our beautiful European friends and family. So I strongly encourage you, no matter where you are, that this is a great reason for you to stop this habit altogether, because it does absolutely nothing to benefiting your health and your well-being. Okay, sedentary lifestyle, sitting all day. I know we're all in our homes. Get out and move, exercise. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. Processed food and simple carbohydrate intake, they're kind of one and the same. You know, all the processed food that's in the box or in a bag that's in the middle of the grocery aisles in the stores are loaded with many different types of preservatives, chemicals, and additives that are known to be toxic, that can cause inflammation, and inflammation allows infection to rear its head. See, this in essence really is a perfect recipe to create a fertile feeding ground for viral infection to take hold, replicate, and become symptomatic. Lack of sleep. Take this time to get plenty of rest for you and your family. This is when your body recovers. It allows the immune system to replenish itself, allows it to rebuild, and of course allows it to fight another day. And then of course, chemicals of any kind. Really limit your exposure to different types of chemicals. Try to stay away from, BPA, different types of plastics, cooking on Teflon. Try to buy wild-caught, grass-fed, pasture-raised, organic wherever you can today. If you can't, still buy the lean protein and the vegetables. It's better than nothing, because that's where you're going to get your best defense. More on that in just a moment. But really focus on limiting your exposure to different types of chemicals. So here is a recipe on how you can start boosting your immune system with specific recommendations. Now, I will say this, I'm not your physician. I'm not here to diagnose, treat, or cure anything you might be dealing with. I'm giving you general recommendations. Always check with your physician and your labs or your naturopath, whoever is helping you with your health goals, to confirm what's going to be best for you. But I didn't want to just put up ingredients and not give you an idea of how much you might want to be looking at. Now, the beautiful thing about what you're seeing on here, I haven't seen anyone yet to date, knock on wood, overdose on healthy nutrition. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind. Now, when you look at Echinacea, elderberry, astragalus, which is basically an adaptogen, ginseng's the same thing. They're known to have strong microbacterial protection properties, as well as antiviral protection properties in helping to boost lymphocyte production, white blood cell count, T cell count, lymphocytes, antibody production, and so forth. So they're very important. They also help to manage stress and can potentially help lower cortisol, which is also negative in terms of how it relates to our ability to be well. Now, bone broth is another one. Okay, it's very important. I recommend that you do bone broth for a couple of different reasons. Because of its rich amino acid profile, because it's rich in collagen. Collagen is very important that you take, in my opinion, in upwards of 20 to 30 grams a day. You may need to supplement to help get what you need. The key is to use it consistently. Now, why collagen? Collagen helps to counter the dangerous effects of leaky gut syndrome. And leaky gut syndrome is a result of sugar, poor lifestyles, toxic alcohol, and so forth that can cause the gut lining to break down and allowing proteins and things to enter the bloodstream that shouldn't, causing a pro-inflammatory response, lowering your immunity and making you more susceptible. Collagen helps to repair leaky gut syndrome and problems. And when you combine that with healthy eating and eliminating the things that I mentioned already earlier, you give your body every chance to start rebuilding its immune system. So I want to stress this again. I don't want to leave anyone who's immunocompromised or with the previous risk factors that I talked about thinking you don't have a chance. You do. Your body has an amazing ability to repair itself. Focus on giving your body the tools that it needs. Be patient. Building your immune system doesn't happen overnight. Okay? It's very important that you do these things consistently. Okay? That is going to be the key. Ginger has a strong tonic effect and cleansing effect in helping to clean the blood and the lymph system, also improving digestion and absorption of micronutrients. Green tea, also very beneficial in terms of its polyphenols and what it does in boosting your antioxidant levels to help to limit the effects of free radical damage. Zinc is a very important mineral in conjunction with selenium to help you with your immune system function. The immune system and antibody production are dependent on these key minerals, and most people are not even getting enough, and the majority of people are actually deficient in zinc. Your body has no way of holding on to zinc, so it's very important that you replenish zinc on a daily basis. Omega-3 fatty acids, okay? I like to use in upwards of 1 to 3 to 4 grams of omega-3s every single day. It's in part because I have my own autoimmune condition that I manage. It's an inflammatory condition. Now, the good news, I've been able to reverse that without any medication through what I'm recommending here on Kayaani Wellness TV, because it has a strong natural anti-inflammatory effect in helping to boost the body's natural immune system. And approximately 99,000 people die every single year because they're deficient in omega-3. So I strongly recommend that's an area that you get tested to see where your levels are at currently. Now, currently there's a lot of trials that are going on in China on vitamin C IV therapy as a potential treatment in helping to reduce the symptoms or recovery of viral infection. I strongly recommend that during this time, go ahead, boost your vitamin C level, 2,000, 3,000 milligrams per day, okay? The good news, it's water soluble. Your body can't hang on to it. You can't overdose on vitamin C. I do recommend that you do get it from a supplement. I don't recommend that you go pound tons and tons of orange juice, okay? If you're eating fresh oranges, that's one thing because you're getting the fiber with it. But remember, if you're just drinking juices, there's a lot of sugar that goes with it, and we already talked about the complications or challenges with sugar. Now, vitamin D, honestly, out of this entire list is probably one of my 2 favorite personal ones to make sure that you have healthy levels of. You can get this easily tested in a blood test when you go get your labs done. Ask your physician, ask your naturopath to run a vitamin D test to see where your levels are. You want to be at minimum of 60 nanograms per milliliter to 80 nanograms per milliliter for healthy levels, because what the science is showing that you can potentially reduce your risk of viral infection by as high as 40% by having healthy levels of vitamin D. Now, over 3/4 of the population, including teenagers, is deficient in vitamin D. So when I hear statistics of people dying of coronavirus, I would like to know what their lab panels look like. How many of them were deficient in vitamin D versus those that are recovering? See, these are the questions and the answers that we're not necessarily getting. So my take home for you is get this tested. All right, it might be difficult now, but the point is that I would recommend supplementing with it. Now, we have 800 IUs in our Sunset formula. You may need more. I take that in addition to 5,000 IUs with vitamin K2 to improve bioavailability and absorption, in addition to Sunset, because Sunset has other powerful fat-soluble antioxidants, you know, the A, beta-carotene, astaxanthin, which is 5,000 times more powerful and bioavailable or potent than vitamin C itself. It's the king, if you will, and the beta-carotene is the king, or the astaxanthin is the king of carotenoids, okay? So it's very important that we get those in addition to vitamin E, which we prefer here at Kayaani, and I recommend you get tocotrienols. It's a very specific form of vitamin E. It's also the most potent and bioavailable form of vitamin E, and we provide up to 800 IUs of that in our Sunset formula. Now, the second, well, I'd put that as one of my top 3, I say, right here, this category, okay? Nitrates, I've spoken about in previous episodes, and I cannot talk about enough. Nitrates are naturally occurring in many green leafy vegetables, okay? Beets and so forth. Very important because it helps as a precursor to generating nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the molecule of life. It's involved as a signaling molecule and virtually involved in every single cellular reaction in the body. Data and science is showing that nitric oxide has the ability to potentially inhibit viral replication. It's sourced from organic noni, and it's rich in naturally occurring nitrates, plus it also has other synergistic ingredients with it, including CoQ10, which is also in our HL5, which protects mitochondrial health, which is also very important for our immune system function. And those on statin medications are also notoriously low in that. How many people that are dying are on statin medications, or what medications were they on? So hopefully you can start seeing there's a lot to the equation here, not just the statistic of who died, okay? What's behind the data? All right, we need to peel the curtain back a little bit more, and I would love to see our medical experts talking about this a lot more, because we're not helpless here. We have the ability through our immune system. It's going to be our only defense, all right? Beta carotene, okay, very important as well. Probiotics, up to 50 million parts per million, okay, is what I recommend, because it helps with gut health. That's where our immune system starts and ends. And in particular, if you've had a course of antibiotics, I strongly recommend that you get on a probiotic. Now, glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant. It serves as a pro-oxidant because it also helps to recycle other antioxidants, in particular like vitamin C, vitamin E, and CoQ10. Now, supplementing with glutathione by itself has been shown to be poorly absorbed. So what I recommend is you can supplement together with N-acetylcysteine and alpha-lipoic acid. Those two basically serve as precursors to helping to form glutathione, okay? I know it's kind of a long-winded approach, but that's one thing that I do. And an additional way you can boost glutathione levels is through whey protein. Whey protein is rich in the amino acid cysteine, which serves as a precursor to glutathione production. Then, of course, stress management and sleep, which I've talked about. And don't forget to get out and exercise. Don't just sit at home. Get out, get some fresh air, get some sun on your skin. 15-20 minutes a day has been proven to boost your immunity and, of course, to help you to stay healthy and to stay well in so many different ways. I'm trying to think in this particular moment what can be said. The message that I want to leave with you and that I'd like you to take home from this video is that you're not helpless. We are not defenseless. We have the most powerful protection that any of us could ever ask for, and it's been God-given to all of us, and that is our immune system. Nurture it, take care of it, and if anything out of all of this, that we learned a valuable lesson in how important it is to take care of our health now, today, not when it's gone and not when there's a crisis, because we never know when a crisis may come. And we always want to be ready with our best defense, because the best defense for any type of crisis, in my opinion, is going to be an even better offense. And so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please post your comments and questions. Stay strong, stay positive.